Hey there, welcome back to the Stoic Guide. Today, we're diving into something that I guarantee is gonna change the way you see attraction, relationships, and honestly, yourself. The title isn't clickbait. It's a truth that's been around, and for centuries. So here's the deal. 99% of women fall for this type of man, but it's probably not the type you're thinking. It's not the richest guy in the room, not the flashiest, not the loudest. And it's definitely not the one who's chasing every trend or trying too hard. The man women are naturally drawn to, again and again, is the one who embodies Stoicism. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, Stoicism, that old philosophy stuff? Yeah, exactly. Stoicism is ancient, but it's more relevant today than ever. In fact, the more chaotic and noisy the world gets, the more magnetic a Stoic man becomes. So let's unpack what that really means. Picture this. A man walks into a room. He's not rushed. He's not fidgeting with his phone. He's not trying to be noticed. He just is, calm, grounded, present. His energy isn't desperate or scattered. It's steady, and that steadiness, that calm confidence, that stoicism in action. See, most people think confidence is loud, but the kind of confidence Stoicism teaches, it's quiet and it's real. A Stoic man doesn't need to boast about who he is, because he's already clear on it. And women, whether they realize it or not, are wired to spot that kind of strength. Emotional stability, self-mastery, a sense of purpose, those things are deeply attractive, not just for short flings, but for meaningful, long-lasting connections. And here's why: because the Stoic man isn't easily shaken by life. He doesn't crumble under pressure. He doesn't panic when things don't go his way. He doesn't let his mood swing with every little piece of news or gossip. He understands that life will throw challenges his way, but his reactions, those are his responsibility. Now imagine being a woman in today's world, surrounded by endless distractions, social pressure, uncertainty about the future. Stability is rare, emotional safety is rare, but a Stoic man offers that through his presence, not through empty promises, not through grand gestures, but simply through how he shows up every day. And no, being Stoic doesn't mean being cold. People misunderstand that all the time. It's not about shutting down your feelings or becoming some unfeeling robot. It's about feeling things fully, but not being controlled by them. You acknowledge your emotions, but you don't let them steer your decisions. You lead with logic and purpose, not impulse. When you embody this mindset, you stop being the guy who's desperate for attention. You stop trying to impress women with flashy cars, designer clothes, or some pumped-up persona you saw on Instagram. Because a Stoic man knows those things might get attention, but they don't earn respect. And respect is the real currency in attraction. Now let me ask you, have you ever met someone whose calm energy just pulled you in? Someone who didn't talk too much, but when they did, every word felt intentional. Someone who didn't act out when things got tough, but handled problems like a seasoned pro. That's the Stoic blueprint. And you know what's wild? Women can sense that from a mile away. It's not even about looks. Sure, physical attraction matters, but emotional depth, character and consistency will outshine six-pack abs every single time when it comes to genuine connection. That's why the Stoic man stands out in a sea of people trying to be loud, funny, or flashy. And here's another thing. A Stoic man doesn't just attract women. He attracts respect from men, from employers, from peers. Why? Because people trust calm. People trust those who don't lose themselves when things get hard. In a world where most people are reacting to everything instantly, through tweets, texts, comments, the person who pauses, who responds instead of reacts, who thinks before speaking, becomes rare. And rare is valuable. And the thing is, Stoicism isn't just about attraction. It's about creating a life that feels meaningful to you. Relationships, careers, family, health, they all benefit when you operate from this mindset. And once you truly commit to this way of living, the side effects: better relationships, more respect, clearer decisions, and yes, women are drawn to you in ways that feel almost effortless, because here's what women actually want beneath all the surface-level stuff. They want a man who can make them feel safe, not just physically, but emotionally. A man who doesn't get lost in jealousy, who isn't ruled by insecurity, who's not a slave to his ego. Someone who leads by example, not by force. Someone who's deeply rooted in who he is. And the Stoic man is exactly that. He lives by principles, not by moods. He controls the one thing he can, himself. And in a world full of distractions, that kind of self-mastery, that's magnetic. So the real question is, how do you become that type of man? It starts small. It starts with your habits, your thoughts, your reactions. When something annoys you, don't lash out. When life throws you a curveball, breathe. First, act later. When emotions hit, let them pass like clouds. Don't chase them, don't suppress them. Observe them, learn from them. Then choose your response. And here's the part people don't tell you. This is not about perfection. The Stoic path isn't about never feeling fear or anger. It's about developing the muscle to handle them. Over time, it becomes natural. Your mind stops being a chaotic place, and you become a steady, clear presence. Not just for others, but for yourself. And women, they notice, because that kind of man is rare. In fact, 99% of women aren't just looking for a boyfriend or even a husband. They're looking for a leader, a partner, someone who doesn't just survive life, but meets it head-on, fully awake, fully grounded. Someone who listens more than he talks. Someone who moves with quiet confidence. Someone who lives by virtue, not vanity. So don't get it twisted. Attraction isn't a game. It's a reflection of your inner world. If you're anxious, scattered, or reactive, that energy shows, no matter how good you look on the outside. But when you operate from self-respect, from a calm mind, from a clear heart, you don't have to chase, you attract. And the truth is, every man has the potential to be this person. It's not about your background, your looks, or your bank account. It's about the discipline of the mind. It's about choosing to respond to life instead of being tossed around by it. So the next time you wonder why some guys seem to naturally draw people in, especially women, look closer. More often than not, they're not the loudest in the room. They're the calm ones, the ones who've done the inner work, the ones who've embraced Stoicism not just as a philosophy, but as a lifestyle. Because 99% of women fall for the man who doesn't need to prove anything, because he already knows who he is. So start there, not with trying to impress anyone else, but with mastering yourself. Thanks for watching the Stoic Guide. If this resonated with you, hit that like button, subscribe for more, and remember, strength isn't about how much you can lift, it's about how much you can handle. See you in the next one.